That was Break It All Down for PhillyInfluencer.com. It's Sean Brace. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
What's the deal, man?
Underrated day in the sports calendar. Today, underrated day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many teams will be just completely changed? You know, you make maybe a competitor last year, you make the right signing this year, all of a sudden, you might be able to take the division. I don't know if that's going to be the Eagles' case, but underrated day in the sports
It
calendar.
was a big day. Remember last year how crazy it was?
Yeah.
You know, all the Bradford stuff is flying around. We didn't know. Thought they were getting a 2 back. They're giving up a 2. We didn't know what was happening.
And it seems like that's what's
And it
happening.
feels like that with this Miami deal.
Exactly.
Here's
So
what
true.
I hope, though, with whatever, draft spots we're going to get back, draft picks we're going to get back from the whole trio of, things that went down yesterday, I hope that we have enough that we can get up to the second round, because I think that's going to be huge. I mean, you've heard different rumors that, they could potentially be trading and go from 13 to 8.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows how many picks they're going to get back, but that second round pick is going to be huge this year.
Yeah, and Howie's been usually pretty good with that kind of stuff. And I really feel like that's a priority for his, other than taking care of certain players. He's going to get a 2 one way or the other. It may not all come down today, but what he gets today could
Or
be
packaging
ammunition.
some of them to
Draft
move
day
them.
to
Right.
end up moving up, but I
Yeah.
think so.
We had that feeling last year when that deal went down, like, ooh, that's second round pick, and you didn't want to go over the top about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you had a feeling it was going to come back and bite you in the backside.
Yep.
Here they are trying to replace
Well,
that.
and how do you not restructure Bradford's deal and extend that deal if you're giving a 2 up? I know Foles didn't turn out, but to give that 2 up, you would think that would be part of it.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing, with Chip Kelly's inexperience and the whole GM type of deal. You can't go in and ask a quarterback of his stature to not go in with a contract set in place in which he's just a hired assassin. He's just a one and done type of guy. Who does that? Who? Chip Kelly does.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of what's going on? I mean, if it is Murray to the Titans, if it is Alonzo and Maxwell, are you on board with all
Well,
that?
definitely, absolutely on board. They had to get out of those contracts. That's fine. But let's focus on that deal where supposedly now they're going to be flip-flopping up to 8. How is that possible?
I can't look. Never say never.
You're right.
Miami's made some really bad moves in the past, and we talked about them a little bit earlier. I can't imagine that that's going to be part of this. I'm telling you, if this is part of this, this is a coup for Howie Roseman. It's
I
a
agree.
monster deal.
And because did they watch the Eagles play last year? Maxwell is a huge contract. Can he give you a little bit? He showed up in the middle part of the season, but at the end of the day, not a competitor. Seth Joyner obviously will tell us all about that. But and DeMarco Murray, 500 plus carries. Look, I got my hand right up in the air. I got him wrong. Everybody said, be careful about his workload, what he put in with the Dallas Cowboys. Preseason, regular season, postseason, over 500 carries, and that absolutely took a toll on who DeMarco Murray was
Yes,
last year.
but also you have to remember, he was used incorrectly in every single game, basically every time he stepped onto the field. So if he were used in a correct scenario, then I think we could have seen a lot more production out of him. Not to the extent that he had when he was with the Cowboys, that's for sure. But I still think he would have been a better player and we would have gotten more out of him if Chip Kelly didn't take an entire season to figure out you can't run him the same way you're going to run every other running back.
I'm not going to back up Chip Kelly because it seemed like from day one. Remember preseason last year or the training camp where it was like DeMarco Murray wasn't practicing.
First day.
Yeah, it was like, what's going on here? This is your bell cow. This is the guy that you brought in. You spent all this money, and now he's not practicing. He was kind of scratching his head like, what's going on? I'm not going to defend that. But what I will say is this. Rather than this system, how about better offensive line play? Will the Miami Dolphins be able to, the Tennessee Titans be able to put up a better fight up front?
They will.
That's what it came down to. That was the biggest downfall for the Eagles last year. It was just the offensive line for the first 5 or 6 weeks. Just couldn't put it together.
Well, I think that's why Murray wanted to go to the Titans. That's why he renegotiated his contract.
He wanted out of here. He would have went to Alaska if they had a team. He didn't want to be here anymore. Have you ever seen?
You look at the Titans. The Titans reworked their offensive line. They have 3 first rounders at this point on the offensive line right now. Chance Warmack, Tyler Winston.
They're about to get
These
touched.
guys are very, very good up front. They will be very, very good up front this year. So that's why he went there. I'm just happy the fact that they took in that contract, absorbed that contract. I don't care if we don't get anything else for him. I'm happy with that.
Have you ever seen a sports agency tweet out, like, yeah, we just restructured, we made a deal.
Before it was even official.
That's how bad DeMarco Murray wanted out of
And notice he's
Philadelphia.
in a Cowboys uniform,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
an Eagles
yeah.
uniform. And he was, to me, he was like Mr. Passive Aggressive. It was, hey, I'm happy to be here. I somehow sat down next to Jeffrey Lurie on the plane. How did that happen?
After the biggest
I just
win
said
of
that.
the football season over the New England Patriots, the stones on you, DeMarco Murray.
And that was just a crazy coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I don't think he was a guy who was
He never bought in.
a disruptive
No, he
force, but he never bought in from the jump. He didn't want to be here. He took the most money, and I think he had buyer's remorse when he
Now,
did.
okay, I see both sides of this because I see the side where, as the player, you come here, you sign the deal, you're making this money, you got to just buy into what you're doing. But I also see the side of it where you get here and you're using correctly, and it takes the entire season for the coach to figure that out, and that must be frustrating. So
that's fair. I'm not. I think Chip did misuse him. I will agree with you there, 100%. And that's why with him and Kiko, I'm going to be curious. I think I know what Byron Maxwell is. He's kind of an average corner. With these two guys, he went from 1,800 yards to 700 yards.
702.
Kiko, yeah.
Don't forget the two.
I forget the two. Kiko Alonso goes from rookie of the year to hurt to a mess last year. Yeah. So what's real here? And what isn't? I don't know.
If you were to ask me what's real, it's exactly. I think Kiko is basically done. I really do feel that way, and the injury bug has bit him throughout the course of his career, and that's unfortunate because it looks like he has it. He's got good intangibles, good hands. Look at that play he made against the Atlanta Falcons to kick off the season last year. But all in all, the rust factor is heavy with him, and if he can't get back on the field, he's never going to be able to correct that.
I don't think so. I think that he does have something left in the tank. I think he's going to be pretty good with that system. He's just not a 4-3 middle linebacker.
How many games does he play next year?
I think he plays the entire season.
I'll take the under on that all day.
I'll
take the under on that.
Let me tell you
it's
why.
Unfortunate. You know that guys are bit by the injury
He was able to rest this last year. We're acting like he did something. He rested all last year.
You're right.
So that's what it is he's going to be a guy in which he leaves here. He's going to go in, find this system that's specifically made for him, and he's going to flourish at this system. He's just not a 4-3 guy. He's a 3-4 guy. They're going to ask him to be a 4-3 guy, which is not the two gapping with the defensive line he had here. It's going to be one gap. That means he's going to have to take on fullbacks, offensive linemen. He's too light. He needs a little more lead in his butt to be a 3-4 line, a 4-3 line.
Then he won't fit into that tiny shirt with his stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He'd have to gain weight so he couldn't
Right.
go shirtless.
Yeah, but he's in the
He wants
perfect
to do
place
that.
to be shirtless, isn't he? I mean, let's face it.
Absolutely.
All right, so well, I'll tell you, Leotis McKelvin came from a place you don't want to be shirtless.
Right.
Actually, so did Kiko Alonso. Yesterday, McKelvin spoke with the media and was asked about an interception he had against the Eagles last season. Had some interesting things to say about that specific play that Chip Kelly was calling.
They kept on running it. I mean, they kept on running. They kept on running. They ran about 4 or 5 times going down the field. They switched to the other side. They kept on running. I just had a feeling that they're going to go back to it. I seen the ball, and I just went and go get it.
Now, this is why this is particularly interesting. We heard this repeatedly last year, not only from opponents, but somebody like Evan Mathis, who then exited the team, how Chip Kelly's offensive system and his play calling was so repetitious that defenses were just waiting. They were just lined up waiting. And there's no agenda there from Leotis McKelvin. That's just being honest.
He's chuckling about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we couldn't believe it. And finally, of course, we're going to burn you if you keep running this.
The only person who didn't see it was Chip himself.
Yeah, that's crazy. All you gotta do is just look at the set. Be like, all right, Murray's lined up too far outside. Oh, he's running a wheel run. Oh, Sproles is in. He's definitely running a wheel run. Oh, he's lined up on the right side. That means he's going to run to the left side. He's not going to run inside. He's going to run outside. It was just too predictable.
So predictable.
Two topics. One was put to rest last week, which I'm sure you guys were really excited about, was Sam Bradford. Will he return? But one topic that will not go away throughout the course of this season is Chip Kelly. It will not, because we will continue to compare. We'll see what happens out in San Francisco, and I'm okay with that because it's the talking point for us at the end of the day. But it's funny because we did hear those things being said about Chip Kelly his second year. Remember, Seahawks said we knew what they were running. Anytime they lost, it seemed like that team came out and said, hey, we knew exactly what they were doing. We had a good game plan. At the end of the day, is that really, sound the alarm? No, because you got good coaches out there that get paid to look at a lot of tape, like you would know. But bottom line, I think that Chip really did run a vanilla offense.
Well, you got to be able to execute. Hey, if they can't stop you, run it 1,000 times. Who cares?
Exactly.
But you better be able to execute and keep teams off balance with your tempo. We heard a lot of defensive players saying, the first series it's kind of tough. Then you adjust and you're fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, at the end, the only ones who are struggling is our defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were gassed.
Yeah.
Well, you look at it, remember the Arizona game where he called timeout, came out in the same formation. He said, no, he called a different play. He called the same exact play, and the Cardinals knew it.
Yeah, he straight up lied.
Chip did that a lot.
Yeah.
He was a pathological liar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Every single time he had an opportunity to lie, it seemed like he did.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scratch his neck.
Yeah.
The neck scratch was a giveaway.
Oh, we didn't talk about that yet. We're gonna have that meeting after this press conference.
I love working with you guys. I mean,
All right, let's get back to free agency because we have a poll on Twitter this
We have a
morning.
toll on Twitter.
I did not talk today.
easy pass, Joe.
It's
Yeah,
all right. It's
right?
hump day, Jill. It's
This is
okay.
to see what our viewers think should be the Eagles' top priority later today. Sarah, just go.
It's going to be okay, Jillian, I promise. We've been monitoring this throughout the morning, so yeah, no surprises here, my friends. Offensive line. Because if you can't protect Sam Bradford, what can you do? Although, again, for the second time, I do want to point out that wide receivers there in second place with 14%.
Defensive back needs more love here.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
Don't put
agree.
that above receiver.
Especially in this draft, I agree with that. So yeah, here are the offensive line
I'm
receiver.
rubbing up on you,
You're
Sarah.
contagious, Jillian. So as always, I'm going to be following along with this for the rest of the show. You can find that poll on our Twitter account, not toll on our Twitter account, as Jillian said, or whatever it was.
Who knows what Jillian said?
It's a mystery.
All right, guys. So while Sean is here, we're gonna play a game we call In or Out.
Okay.
We're gonna run through a
there's
list
the
of
In or Out.
players. I like that.
Love
We're gonna
it.
run through a list of players, and you tell us whether they're in or out for the Eagles next season. All right?
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Walter Thurman.
I want to see Walter Thurman return. So this is my take on the Eagles. I think somebody's going to overpay for him, so I would say out. But I want to see him back with the Eagles.
Nolan Carroll.
And it seems like the Eagles are focusing on him right now. He stepped up. He filled that void last year. They have to find another cornerback that can start out there, right? If you're going to go with Eric Rowe at the other cornerback position,
Carroll, Rowe, McKelvin, that's not bad.
not
That's not
bad.
bad at all.
That's not bad.
In.
Okay.
All right, Cedric Thornton.
Oh, Big said you want to keep him around, and I think they've come out and said his name a number of times, so I'm going to say in as well.
All right, I think a lot of that's going to depend on the number.
Very true.
You know, Fletcher Cox might have a lot to do with how that shakes itself out.
Barrett Boyd. Marcus Smith.
See, I thought this was Rob's boy. See, Rob was talking about him being the starter instead of
Wow.
Mr. Chase Daniel,
Wow.
who we're going to talk about next. But Mark Sanchez,
No, Marcus
Marcus
Smith.
Smith.
well, Marcus Smith.
Yes.
I want to see him. I just want to cut bait here, but I would think in. I'm going to say in.
Yeah, he's in. I don't think they cut him. I think he won more year.
Val Martin.
Mark Sanchez, I apologize.
Yeah.
I got excited there talking about Mr. Sanchez. Out. See ya. Goodbye, Mark. It was nice knowing you.
So you think the next guy will be in then?
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall that Chase Daniel will be signed by the Eagles. It just makes sense with this coach QB connection. Why not?
Yeah, I think they want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. All right, let's go. Jahri Evans.
I would love to see it. But I think that the price tag might be a little up there as well. So I just want to go with out.
Buffalo sniffing around on him, so you know I would like to see it as well.
They just
Yeah.
signed Richie Incognito.
They did.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
All right, good stuff, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Always pleasure, guys. Thanks for
Appreciate it.
having
For
me.
joining us. The Flyers have a few days off before heading south for a rematch against the Tampa Bay Lightning on Friday. The Orange and Black snapped the Lightning's 9.
Leave you there. When you call, a small business expert will answer you in about 30 seconds.